Hello and welcome to the Ice Guys. This is the show that takes you into the world of the National Hockey League. Every game, every day, from a betting perspective. With pro sports handicappers, Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, and various guests from the world of hockey and sports betting. And now, here's your host, Ian Cameron.
Welcome to the Ice Guys. Monday, December the 9th. Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith with you. 3 games on this Monday, a very short slate, which we will get into in just a few moments as we break it all down. We are on the eve of our final Betcast as well of 2024. A reminder, that comes your way tomorrow night, Tuesday, December the 10th. A very solid NHL card coming your way tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Our final live Betcast of the new year, of the 2024 year. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, December 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. DM or email me or Alex for a spot on the Betcast, and we'll make sure we send you the link for it before it begins. And like I said, this is a pretty solid card tomorrow night. We got Leafs, Devils, Avs, Penguins. Penguins obviously playing a little bit better. We got the Jets and the Bruins. We got the Lightning and the Oilers in a very good game. The St. Louis Blues, who have shown new life under the new head coach, Jim Montgomery. They're in Vancouver. Panthers and Kraken at the end of the night as well. So that's what we have on tap tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. We'll be with you throughout the entire night for our final Betcast. Christmas type of flair it's going to feel like for sure. So close to the holidays. So looking forward to that tomorrow night, Tuesday, December 10th, our final Ice Guys live Betcast of the year. Yesterday, a card I didn't love. I thought it was kind of a ho-hum, meh, kind of a betting card yesterday in the NHL. It actually ended up going okay, profitable. At the end of the day, we'll take it. Certainly better than Saturday was for me. Seattle with a 7-5 win over the New York Rangers. Just an offensive explosion in that game. 12 goals. Neither goalie had a good day, and that's putting it mildly. But it just turned into one of those early start, sloppy games. There were odd man rushes, breakdowns defensively, turnovers that led to goals. Not the greatest showing in net from either goalie, Grubauer or Quick. And it ended up being a wild and crazy affair at MSG in Seattle. 7-5 win over the Rangers. And like I said, since they got puck-moving defenseman Vince Dunn, quarterbacks the power play as well, all of a sudden they're scoring goals again. And it's just amazing because we constantly talked about why is this team struggling to score goals? And I knew Vince Dunn was out, but I clearly underestimated his impact on this team offensively, because since he's been back, you can trace this back to his return, and all of a sudden they're scoring now. Seattle, he is that big of a difference maker for them offensively, and suddenly they're scoring goals. Suddenly you're seeing first period and full game overs hitting left and right with Seattle right now as well since Dunn's return. So it's clearly been a huge deal having him back. The Tampa Bay Lightning, speaking of welcoming people back to the lineup, they welcomed back Nikita Kucherov to the lineup against Vancouver, and they get the job done 4-2 against the Vancouver Canucks. And Kucherov, not only back in the lineup, but look at what he does, right? 3 points, 1 goal, 2 assists. He factors in on 3 of the 4 Tampa Bay goals. Just a tremendous return, and he's right now picking up right where he left off last year. And the Lightning get a nice 4-2 win. A tie game in the third, but they broke through with the late power play goal, Jake Gensel, and then Braden Point put it away into the empty net with a 4-2 victory for the Lightning over the Canucks, who continue to play inconsistent, mediocre hockey on home ice. On the road, they've been a terror. At home, they've been very much so throughout the season. New York Islanders, oh my gosh, put this team out. They're red hot. They've won 2 in a row. They get the job done again against the Ottawa Senators 4-2. I'm glad I stayed off Ottawa because I said I remember the Islanders beat them there earlier this year, and sure enough, they beat them again 4-2. That game, I did grab a piece of the over as well. It got there. The Islanders with the 4-2 win there against the Senators. While we talked about Columbus, it was a Columbus spot all the way. Brutal spot for Winnipeg yesterday. Just with all the travel, coming back from playing a day game in Chicago, a late afternoon game yesterday as well, locally in Winnipeg. And you could tell not a lot of gas in the tank for Winnipeg. They got pretty much outplayed majority of that game, especially in the first period. Credit to Comrie, because Comrie actually played well, believe it or not, even though he gave up 3 goals. Of course, one of them was into the empty net. But the Kent Johnson goals really turned the game in Columbus's favor in the third, and they end up going with the 4-1 victory going away with the 4-1 win over the Winnipeg Jets. And all that steam on Columbus, they all get the money as that price came crashing down throughout the course of the day. People, not just us, seeing that it was a pretty good spot for Columbus, and the schedule had a pretty good chance to catch up to Winnipeg yesterday, and it did for sure in that 4-1 loss to the Jackets. How about Scott Wedgwood? I mean, we brought up the numbers yesterday. He gets the shutout against his original team he started his career with, the New Jersey Devils. Something about playing New Jersey, and he shuts out the Devils, which means Devils are going to be system play coming up on Tuesday night when they take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. So keep an eye on that. But Colorado with a 4-0 win over the New Jersey Devils. We cashed. I had the over by Fecta, but I had more on the first period over, and good thing I did, because that was the best bet on the show yesterday as well. First period over. That's now 9 in a row for the first period over for the New Jersey Devils. So tomorrow we're going to have system play, which already says bet first period over and full game over, with the Devils off a shutout loss. And we have the 9 in a row that New Jersey has hit to the first period over. So angles converge, if you will, in that game coming up tomorrow night. But a very solid road effort and a very nice performance in net from the Wedge Wall, living up to his online social media handle, the 4-0 win over New Jersey. How about the Utah Hockey Club? 4-2. They got a sweep of the back-to-back on the road this weekend, beating Buffalo and Philly in back-to-back games. That's 2-0 as a starting goalie for Jackson Stauber. I know Alex liked Utah in that game as long as Stauber was confirmed. And they end up getting the job done over the Flyers by a score of 4-2 last night. A very solid performance all around by Utah, and a nice weekend for them, getting back-to-back. Not the greatest of competition, but, you know, I look at it as Philly's been playing well lately. I really think that's a hell of a win, quite honestly, on a back-to-back on the road, beating the Flyers. Very impressed with Utah, and obviously Jackson Stauber, 2 goals and 2 starts. Just 2 goals allowed for the Utah Hockey Club. And then we wrapped it up with a game that is what made my night profitable. The 2-0 sweep in the Calgary-Dallas game. Dallas team total over 3.5 and the full game over. That's now 7 straight overs. Head-to-head series with the Flames and the Stars. Dallas with a 6-2 victory over the Calgary Flames. Much-needed bounce back from Dallas in that game. And this is as sharp a home-road split team as there is in the NHL right now, Calgary, especially defensively. How they can look so good, so tidy defensively at the Saddle Dome, and look anything but, you know, on the road. And we have seen the road trip that they just had before was dreadful. They lost all 4 games. Now back on the road, it's now their 5th straight road loss. Their road record is terrible. So Ryan Huska's got to figure that out. You can't be just this bad on the road when you're playing as good as you are at home. You got to have some sort of better balance than that, and you're not seeing it right now from the Calgary Flames. Great point by Kevin in the chat. Yes, we're going to be colliding against Toronto's very strong first period undermark in that game, but the system is the system, and New Jersey has gone 9 in a row. I got to take it. You just hope this is a night where Toronto should want to get going offensively. They can't like what they did offensively or didn't do against Pittsburgh Saturday, so hopefully they got a little gusto early in that game. Alex, your thoughts on Sunday?
I just go with a couple of games that I liked. With Utah, that was a great, like I said, great spot. And like I said, Jackson Stauber, I mentioned this in the preview. I mentioned this even going back when he was a member of Rockford last year, and I didn't understand why the Hawks didn't give him more time up late in the year. But he is a good goalie. He has good form. And, you know, I know he's a smaller goalie compared to, you know, the behemoths we're seeing that keep coming through the league at 6'5" and 6'6". He's only around 6'2", but you know, that's the thing. You know, you have good form. It doesn't matter about how tall or wide you are. The puck's, you know, only going to be able to go 4x6. So just cover that area, and he can do that. So Jackson Stauber, definitely a goalie you need to grade much higher amongst the 3rd string goalies in this league right now. That was a nice hit. And then insanity with Seattle and the Rangers, that early game. Why can't Seattle put this together more often? That's the thing that bugs me. And whenever I see Seattle break off for a game where they have 6, 7, 8 goals, we already know now the next game, I would be looking to bet their team total under just off of the fact they scored 7 last game, because they can't put this shit together. I don't know why. It's infuriating. Every time I see it, and it didn't touch anything on that game for that reason, other than Rangers team total. That came through. They score 5. But it's every time I see, I'm like, yes, you have the talent, you have the capability to be one of the top offenses in this league. And I already know they're probably going to score 2 or 3 goals in their next contest. Great, cash with the over and Calgary and Dallas. Like you mentioned, Wolf, you can only do so much. If that defense in front of you is breaking down, this guy, you're asking a rookie to stop 45, 50 shots a night. He's going to get crushed no matter what team he's on. So Dallas taking care of business, getting the win there, but more importantly for us, getting that over. So those are the highlights from yesterday for me.
Yeah, no question about that. And like I said, Calgary, the road record's got to improve. There's no question. And we'll see if that can continue moving forward, or if they can improve that moving forward. They don't obviously need to work on the way they play away from home, because it's pretty staggering that the home record is what it is, and just a completely different team they have been away from the Saddle Dome this year. All right, our first game for this Monday night slate is a fascinating one. Whatever you want to call it, loser leaves town game. Whatever the case may be, shit's going to hit the fan game of the night. Whoever loses this game, I mean, it's already a hot seat for the two. Well, not so much. Lindy's not going anywhere. They're not firing Lindy Ruff, obviously, after not even half of the season. But certainly Derek Lalonde is on the hot seat. And really, these teams are feeling pressure to get back on track. So this is a very pivotal game here. Detroit Red Wings, Buffalo Sabres. We've got Buffalo minus 125, home favorites, 6 the total, shaded to the over in this game here tonight. Ville Husso confirmed in net for the Detroit Red Wings. It should be, actually, I'm seeing James Reimer in the projections here for the Buffalo Sabres to get the nod, the veteran netminder who was claimed off waivers earlier this season. So who do you want to take here? Do you want to take Buffalo and lay a price with them at home when they have lost 6 straight games? Entering tonight, when they have now gone 0-5 in their last 5 home games here at KeyBank Center, a 6-10 overall home record for the Sabres. You want to take them, or do you want to take a Detroit team that's lost 5 in a row and has a measly 5-8 record on the road? I mean, it's a pick your poison game for me from a side perspective. To me, it feels like I don't trust either team, and both teams have different problems right now. Buffalo can't score, and their defense has suddenly been horrific here these last few home games. And Detroit, they actually haven't been that bad defensively, especially in the last 2 losses. They can't score either right now. So what's gonna give here in this game, Detroit and Buffalo? I mean, you got Detroit that has scored 1 goal in each of their last 2 losses. That's not ever going to win you a hockey game. And you've got Buffalo that's just scored 2 or less in 3 of the last 4 games. Meanwhile, they've given up 3 goals or more in 5 straight games going into this one. That first thought when I see that is, why shouldn't I take Detroit team total over 2.5, minus 150? Well, the first reason is it's minus 150. I don't love the price on Detroit team total over 2.5. And the second thing is, you only scored 1 against Nashville and Ottawa. Even against Buffalo's defense, can I trust you to put up 3 goals right now? I mean, the Red Wings offense is just dormant at the moment. So it's a really tricky game all around, side-wise, totals-wise. These teams are in underform offensively. Buffalo's kind of in overform defensively right now with what they're giving up. And if you look at the series history, a lot of overs, and every game between these teams in Buffalo, you go back 3-4 years ago, every single recent head-to-head meeting in Buffalo with the Red Wings and the Sabres has gone over the total. All the way back to Halloween of 2022, we've seen the last 5 meetings in Buffalo all go over the total. 8-3, 6-3, 7-3, 5-3. Buffalo won all games, by the way. Buffalo is on a nice little run. Actually, no, there was 1 Detroit win in there. But the last 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 5 meetings in Buffalo, 8-3, 6-3, 5-3, 7-3, 5-3. I mean, flying over the total. Yet, I'm a little reluctant because of Detroit can't put a puck in the net right now. Buffalo's talking defense after Lindy Ruff called them out for all the bad defensive effort against Utah Saturday afternoon. So they're going to try, I think, to clamp down. So it's just a really tricky game. If you made me choose for the total, I'd prefer over than under, given the series history in Buffalo, but I don't love it. I will sprinkle on the draw here. I do think, that's the best approach. Don't trust really either team, but can we trust this to be a close game? We have seen Detroit 3 of the last 6 games for them go past regulation. Buffalo, 3 of the last 8 have gone past regulation, so the percentage is not bad as far as recent form. And in hopes of getting this one to overtime. They played just twice earlier this year. It was a 5-3 with an empty net goal for Buffalo in the 1 win, and it was a 2-1 win in Detroit for the Red Wings. Nearly got to overtime that last meeting between these two teams. So I lean over. Don't love it, though. I will sprinkle on the draw in a game that's actually very fascinating to watch because these two teams need 2 points in such a bad way right now. Alex, what do you think here? Red Wings, Sabres.
Yeah, I will be on the draw mainly in this game, but I do have a couple of smaller bets, a smaller lean toward Detroit. And I bet this. I did grab this at a better price. I got plus 115 earlier. Like I said, this was 125 actually when I woke up at like 7 this morning. So we've seen a big move here for a couple of different reasons. One is when you look at the schedule, you got at Buffalo here, and then next game at Philly, and then back home against Toronto. I think you lose 2 out of those 3 games. I think that might be the writing on the wall for the Lons. So this is the must-win game out of that, right? You're probably not going to beat Toronto, okay? And Philly has been kind of up and down. So you need to get this win against a Buffalo team that's struggling just as much as you are. And then when you add into that equation, I did also take a small shot. Even though he's moving down to the third line, he hasn't done pretty much nothing since he's come back from his injury. But Sir Patrick Kane, plus 290, that's the closest we'll see him in the bargain bin range. He should actually be cheaper than that. The reason why he wouldn't even be a bargain bin pick in my book is because even at plus 300, that's not the price you should be getting for a guy moving down to the third line. We talk about looking for value of guys moving up. Well, that's actually kind of a bad bet if you're trying to look for something in a high regard, simply off of the fact that we should be seeing someone in third, fourth lines way higher than 350 or 400. But with the hometown angle, we know he has played very well in his return to Buffalo with whichever team it's been, Hawks. Even with the Rangers, I think he got a goal back home in Buffalo. So I would take a shot with him, but I like the draw more than anything else. This could easily be, as John Massey said in the chat, 2-2. Yes, this feels like it could be a sleepy game, especially if it doesn't get off to a start early.
And said we've got Husso for Detroit. I will say this about Husso. Husso, of course, was injured for a period of time. The numbers for the season still overall aren't very good. But the last 2 outings, he's got the starts against Colorado and Ottawa. He only gave up 2 goals. He gave the Detroit a chance in both games. And he definitely showed improvement from what we had seen from, Billy Husso earlier in the year. Reimer, actually, believe it or not, the old vet for the Buffalo Sabres, in his starts with the Sabres, he's given up just 2 goals in each start against the Islanders and the Sharks. He's been solid. So you'd think, Husso long-term, not a goalie you trust. Reimer long-term, more uneven performances than good. Well, both of them have been a little better lately. We'll see if that translates to tonight. And yes, I haven't even mentioned that about what Real Deal Prime's saying. Of course, he loves his Sabres. I haven't even mentioned and brought it up yet. The Kevin Adams comments the other day. Brutal honesty about the situation with him and the Buffalo Sabres right now. Talking about, let's be honest, Buffalo's not a destination hotspot right now for free agents. We don't have palm trees. We have taxes. We haven't been winning hockey games. So he basically threw it all out there as to why it's a struggle right now for him and his team. I think he's trying to use the excuse machine a little bit, Kevin Adams, with some of those comments. But nevertheless, a lot of what he said is accurate. It's not warm weather there. It's taxes galore compared to Florida and Nevada and some of these other states. But it's not just the taxes and the sunshine and the warm weather there, Florida, Nevada. It's that Florida and Nevada have winning hockey teams right now. Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers, Vegas Golden Knights. You will get people to come to Buffalo if you've got a winning team that's consistently contending for a Stanley Cup. I know you're throwing out the palm trees and you're throwing out the taxes situation. If Buffalo was consistently year in, year out, contending for the Stanley Cup, in the playoffs, winning a couple of rounds, people would sign in Buffalo. They would, if they see it was a good winning culture, winning environment. It isn't right now. So, It's nice to throw out that it's not warm weather and no palm trees. It's nice to throw out, if you're Kevin Adams, that there's taxes galore compared to some of the other states in the U.S. The fact remains, if you're a winning fucking franchise, people will come. You build it, they will follow. That will Field of Dreams slogan.
But that's the thing. That's the key part of that. If you build it, they haven't built it properly, and that's the problem. Yes, he can, and I get what he's saying. He's telling everybody he can only do so much because they can't get quality free agents, and yes, that's true. I don't. If every team's a winning team, right? Guess where people won't be going? If every team's a winning team, they won't go to Winnipeg, they won't go to Buffalo, they won't go to Columbus. You know why? Because they're not Chicago, they're not Las Vegas, they're not Tampa Bay, they're not New York. So you're going to lose out. Being Buffalo, sorry Buffalo, you're going to lose out because you're Buffalo, New York. and you're paying high ass taxes, and you might get 200 feet of snow in a winter. But you have to build the team in order to be winning, and then you could draw people in because it's a winning franchise. And that's on Kevin Adams. And I don't like the way that he's managed. We talked about this for the last couple of years, how he's managed it, the way that they run Rochester.
That sounded like a guy that's feeling some stress, saying what he said the other day.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, right? And so, yeah, he's saying, oh, well, this is the other pushback, but okay, fine, that's always going to be there. Whether you or anybody else's GM, the Buffalo situation, that ain't changing anytime soon. But the building of the Sabres, that fell on him, and he made a lot of missteps, and I think, it's probably going to cost him his job at some point sooner or later.
Yeah, and look at the other team in town, just down the road, Buffalo Bills. And you see what they're doing. They're winning. They've gotten people to come there, So, and again, winning matters. It's at the end of the day, winning matters. Yeah. There's no doubt. He made it sound like it's more the weather and the taxes. No, your team has not made the playoffs. And as people are saying, Bailey in the chat, 13 years? It's the last playoff year for the Buffalo Sabres. Who's going to be attracted to go into that?
Yeah, they draft like shit too in the last 15 years, so that makes a difference as well. Yeah, you hit with Eichel and some of the other guys, but where's Jack Eichel? Jack Eichel has a ring in Nevada.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Just a cavalcade of issues and missteps. You're right, by Buffalo in the last 13 to 15 years. All right, Chicago Blackhawks, New York Rangers next up. Rangers minus 260, home favorites in this game at Madison Square Garden. Total 6. Now it is a back-to-back. For the Rangers, Blackhawks do have a rest advantage because they played Saturday afternoon against Winnipeg. So a little rest advantage for Chicago. But for the Rangers, it's not bad. You played yesterday afternoon, early in the day. You're playing tonight. You don't travel. So it's not a huge, monster, arduous back-to-back here for the Rangers. Obviously, they won't like giving up 7 goals in that game against the Seattle Kraken last night, 7-5 loss. We'll see how they bounce back here in this one. After the 5-game losing streak, they've gone 2-2 since then. But the wins were Montreal, Pittsburgh, better competition. They lost those 2 games, Seattle and obviously New Jersey as well. So it's not fully all the way back yet for the Rangers. That being said, I definitely like what I've seen offensively from them. There's still question marks about defense. I kind of thought the team would go on a run. We'll see if that transpires. We can tell you Igor Shesterkin is back with the team and is starting here tonight for the New York Rangers. So there's just some question about whether or not the Rangers would have him back. He's obviously been away as Mrs. Shesterkin has been giving birth to their child. So it looks like he will be back in between the pipes here for the New York Rangers in this game tonight. Arvid Soderblom is currently projected, but not confirmed yet for the Chicago Blackhawks. Once again, with the Rangers just so mediocre and up and down, and with, I think, the Blackhawks showing a little sign of life, I'm going to do again like I did on Saturday, just a small Chicago first period full game money line split, just a couple of small bets with both of them. The only concern is they have had a nightmarish time against the Rangers historically in over the years. We're talking 7-1 in the last 8 meetings for the New York Rangers over the Chicago Blackhawks. The one win that did occur during that span was a couple years ago here at MSG when the Blackhawks got a 5-2 win here a couple of years ago. But I just think this price is off. It's just for a Rangers team that I know they've won a couple now since the losing streak, but they're still just 2-2. The Chicago played a competitive game against Winnipeg. Winnipeg got to give them credit. They really clamped down in the second and in the third period. I don't think it was lack of effort for Chicago at all. It was just a very good defensive team and a very good goalie in Connor Hellebuck putting the clamp down in the second and third period against Chicago. It's just an overpriced favorite, in my opinion, for the Rangers. And Chicago's still a team that, even though they lost the first game with the new coach, I still think that uptick in energy and just attention is there for this Blackhawks team, that at this price, they're worth a small shot. So we'll do a first period full game money line split. But what I like even more than that is the over by Facta here, which is 2-0 already under the new head coach, Anders Sorensen. Alex, I'm sure, will elaborate on this, but you already saw it. The defensemen are jumping into the play. He wants aggressiveness offensively. He wants you to be, doesn't want to stunt your offensive creativity and your ability to generate offense, generate chances. That's the nice thing we're hearing about Anders Sorensen right now. And again, my thought process coming in is we'd see a little bit more of a change stylistically from Richardson to Sorensen. resulting in maybe more overs. 2-0 already. Perfect start with the over by Fecta, because the first period over and the full game over both hit in that Winnipeg-Chicago game. First game with the new interim coach, Anders Sorensen. I'm going to keep riding it. That's just what I've committed to. I'm going to keep riding the Chicago over by Fecta train, and let's see if we can get on a heater with it. Cash 2 in a row or 3 in a row or 4 in a row, something like that, with the stylistic change we're seeing. So over by Fecta is what I like the most here in this game tonight. Smaller dabbles with the Blackhawks. Alex, what do you think here? Chicago, New York.
Yeah, it's interesting because we were looking at this game earlier. We were wondering if Shesterkin would be back with the team, if he would start. And of course, like I said, it's been confirmed now. And I kind of said, like, man, Shesterkin, first game back off of not only having the second kid, but getting this big contract as well. It's like, you feel like he could be one of his nights to shine. But he's had his ups and downs. I don't know necessarily think he's gonna. I think he could have a good game. I don't know if he's gonna have a shutout or anything like that. Like I said, with Chicago, being more that the up tempo progression was there in that game against Winnipeg. Like I said, the defensemen jumping into the rush, they're moving the puck around more. And this is a Rangers team, like I said, scuffling. They've lost 7 of the last 10 games overall. Definitely like that over 6 at minus $1.05. I think I'm going to wait in game for that first period over. I don't expect a goal, quick enough. I think we'll be able to grab maybe plus money looking at that. But I definitely do believe we'll see more of that up tempo play with the Hawks. And obviously, like I said, Soderblom starting or Drew Comesso getting his debut start either way, some goals should be going in for the Rangers as well. So, liking the over, that's probably the only thing I'm going to be on here in this game.
Question about that, and yes, this is Igor's first game with the contract extension in place, because he signed that on Saturday. Saturday is when that contract was signed, because I know he played Friday against Pittsburgh. But that was before he signed the deal, or before it became official. He probably was already knew he was going to sign it or about to sign it. But the Pittsburgh game, which he started against the Penguins, which they won 4-2, that came before the official announcement of his signing the long-term 8-year, $92 million contract extension with the New York Rangers. So this will be officially his first start. So maybe Igor puts a brick wall up there. We'll see. But again, this team in front of him, defensively, there's still some issues. And post Trouba, we saw that against Seattle for the first time, that there's even post Jacob Trouba, there are still defensive issues. This team's given up at least 3 goals to the opponent in 9 of the last 10 games. Only the Pittsburgh game, where they won 4-2, have they given up fewer than 3 goals. So it still continues to be a work in progress, no doubt, at the defensive end for the New
It's
York
funny.
Rangers.
Someone on Twitter, when I was searching through stuff earlier, and they said we should be able to bet Shesterkin to score a goal tonight with the whole new dad angle. So that would be pretty cool. It should probably be like 40-1, 50-1. I think that should be an option. Goalie scoring a goal in a game. But,
Yeah, no question. We'll see how that one plays out. But yeah, as far as props go, there's still going to be now. Mikheyev's apparently with Bedard and Kurashev, I'm seeing here tonight. I know you give him there's so many chances he gets on the top line, and he hasn't been cashing in with those opportunities lately. And this goes back to when he was at Vancouver as well. Tocchet would put him on the top line, wouldn't do bupkis with the opportunity. So, but he is there with Bedard and Kurashev, so there is value with that. Donato, Bertuzzi, and Hall on the second line. I'm seeing Tara Vinen down on the third line with Dickinson and Foligno. A little bit of a shakeup here. Maybe to give a little offensive. You know what he does? He wants a little more offense consistently from the third line. The third line, I'll say, did not generate much against Winnipeg on Saturday. So I think there's thinking if we put Tavo down there, maybe it just gets that group going a little bit more at the offensive end. So I just trying to lengthen and deepen the lineup a little bit, I think, with a move like that. And then for the New York Rangers, of course, Lafreniere, Trocheck had a really good game yesterday against Seattle in a losing cause, and he's heating up. He's a streaky fucking player. We know that. Going back to Florida and Carolina when he played for those two teams as well. He's got 4 goals in the last 5 games, so he's probably worth a look tonight. Vinny Trocheck to find the back of the net right now for the New York Rangers, because, again, he's streaky, and he's on the good side of the streak right now. All right, final game of this Monday card. It's on Monday. It's only on Prime. Anaheim and Montreal. John Forsland and Amazon Prime north of the border. Montreal minus 145. Home favorite, 6 the total in this game. Different looking Montreal team. And, we talked about for the last few years, been a young group, very green, very inexperienced, very shaky defensively. for the majority of the tenure of Marty St. Louis. But as of late, we're seeing this team start to commit to defensive hockey, start to play better team defense, and it's resulting in more success for this group. No question. You look at the last few games, it's been solid from them with 2 wins in their last 3 on this homestand against the Islanders and the Predators. Now, both of those teams lackluster. They lose, of course, to the best team of the 3, Washington. But they were up 2-1 in that game, and then Tom Wilson decides to get off the hospital bed, if you will, and make this heroic return to the game after taking that puck with the potato wedged in his cheek. And somehow he comes back. He scores 2 goals for the Capitals. One of the most awe-inspiring performances of this regular season so far from Tom Wilson. And the Capitals come back to beat the Canadiens 4-2 on Saturday night. But I still thought Montreal played a decent game. The third period, they got outplayed, outworked a little bit. It was pretty even going into that third, but there's no doubt Washington turned it up into another gear in the third period, and certainly was able to get the job done. But still a decent effort from Montreal. Now they welcome in this Anaheim Ducks team that is coming off back-to-back home losses to pretty good teams, though, Vegas and Minnesota. So this is a bit of a step down here for Anaheim as they start this road trip, which is not going to get any easier because you got Ottawa and Toronto coming up later this week on the road after this. But last year, these teams played twice. Montreal won both games 4-3 in Anaheim, a 5-0 shutout for the Canadiens last year here at the Bell Center against the Ducks. So we'll see if that can carry over. I do like Montreal in this game. But what I will do here is I'll probably do a split here. Montreal minus 140 money line, and we'll do a split with the Montreal team total over 3.5, which you can get at a nice plus price. So a little money line team total over split here for me with Montreal rather than putting it all on the pretty juicy minus 140 that we see on the money line right now. But I do like them to get the job done. Right now, they're 2-1 with Laine back. He has been an impact for this team. He scored in 2 of the 3 games for this team. He's made their power play certainly more dangerous, and that's something that you can clearly see very evident when you watch Montreal, just how much more lethal the power play could be with having that one-timer of Laine available on it. And we'll see if that power play can get things rolling again here tonight against the Anaheim Ducks. But yeah, Montreal at home, I don't mind taking them here, and we'll split it with the team total. Alex, what do you think? Ducks, Canadiens.
Yeah, I'm going with Habs on regulation money line. I got plus 105, plus 1. You can still find even money anywhere in that pick 'em even money range with that, as opposed to laying the $1.45 in the team total. I think they should be able to take care of business within 60. I know they're a team that has been susceptible to going past regulation, but with the way, like I said, Anaheim's form right now, and it just doesn't seem like this. When we were hearing that was about a week and a half ago, where they're saying that Cronin might have lost the team at one point. I don't know. Those noises have kind of quieted down a little bit, but still, they just form-wise, they're awful. And the Habs look, like I said, be rejuvenated, especially with Laine in the lineup. So give me the Habs to win it within 60.
Yeah, no doubt. It's definitely some improvement lately from Montreal, no question, from what we've seen from them, especially defensively. And then Laine gives them a better power play, no doubt, a little more punch there. I would say Laine to score a goal. I would say keep looking at Lane Hutson, man, as far as especially the power play point prop, which you can still get at a great plus price. He got a power play assist on the 2 Laine goals against the Predators and the Islanders. He had an assist against Washington. I mean, his assist streak is 6 straight games with an assist now for Lane Hutson. So you could go with the assist, but yes, Myron's onto it. The power play point prop plus 360. I saw it in the one game that I cashed with that last week. It was as high as plus 500 for him to get a power play point. So that's definitely something to look at right now, because I'm telling you what, with Hutson at the point, now that he's the quarterback of the number 1 power play unit and Laine's one-timer, there's going to be some magic being made for Montreal with the power play. If these two, stay out healthy, basically, and are on the ice together at the same time. So going to be interesting to see how this.
You could parlay those 2 guys for power play points. That'd be something to look at. Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting stat. Anaheim Ducks are at Montreal Monday, the only team not to trail after the opening 20 minutes on the road. 6-0-4 for Anaheim on the road in the first period. That's why. Okay, what that tells you is if you like Montreal, I still do like Montreal. Take them only full game. definitely. Yeah, that full game they just wear Anaheim out because Anaheim's road record's still not great. What are we looking at? 5-5 on the road for the 5 road wins for them, 7 home wins for Montreal. All right, great stuff. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. We appreciate it very much. A short show on this Monday, but that's okay because we've got a long ass day ahead tomorrow. We're double dipping tomorrow on the show. On the Ice Guys, we've got the Daily Show, of course, at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, our Ice Guys live Betcast, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night, our final Betcast of the year. Can't wait for that. Make sure you join us. DM or email me or Alex for a spot on the Betcast. And we'll send you the link for it before it begins. If you're new to the Betcast, it's a bar and a pub type of vibe that we roll with on the Betcast. Just hanging out with viewers, listeners, maybe even a special guest or two. Eddie, our buddy Eddie Lack, likes to drop in usually for a couple of minutes to make a cameo on the Betcast. And again, we just watch the games, place a bunch of live bets. We were crushing it with the live bets in the November Betcast.
Yes. Yeah.
Fingers crossed we can bring that profit magic once again to the Betcast tomorrow night for our final Betcast of the year. So looking forward to that tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We appreciate everyone joining us for that, just like we appreciate everyone signed up at patreon.com/Ice Guys, just $10 per month. Goalie charts, totals charts. We've got obviously a Player Suite interview being posted at the end of this week. You'll enjoy that, certainly. We've got obviously exclusive live Betcasts coming up in the new year, starting in January. January will be the first month when we expand to 2 Betcasts or more per month. And one of them will be a Patreon exclusive, a live Betcast starting in January. So we're looking forward to that. And, of course, the daily betting card posted each and every day on the Patreon page, sides, totals, and player props. So make sure you sign up. We're almost at 200 members. You guys, we're at 192 last I checked. So we're closing in on 200 members. We appreciate it so much. It's only $10 per month. And a reminder, that subscription cost goes a long way to helping the show and supporting it long term. So make sure you sign up, just $10 per month, patreon.com/Ice Guys.
Also, check out the Ice Guys store, iceguys.myspreadshop.com. We had a ton of orders come in this week. If you missed that, out of that 25% free standard shipping, unfortunately, that is long gone. But keep in mind, you have this week to make sure you place an order, and you can still use standard shipping to get it in time for Christmas. Have it under the tree for you or your loved one. Have it for a friend. Make sure you get your orders in now. So if you want to ensure that you have it in time for the 24th and 25th of December, this is the week to order. So that's at iceguys.myspreadshop.com.
All right, good stuff. Make sure you check that. That's right. Po Buddy's Nerfic's actually right. That's the after beating Minnesota, right? Because they beat Minnesota in the last game.
Yeah,
that trend's been crazy good too. It's hard to fathom how that's been so good. Yeah, they play the Islanders tomorrow, but the Islanders have won 2 in a row. They got a little confidence suddenly. So it might be an Islanders bet tomorrow night in that game. Well, plus LA's not been the same team on the road. Maybe, but LA hasn't been good on the road. I know that compared to last year. They've done all their damage at home. The LA Kings so far this year. So now they're starting a long East Coast road trip tomorrow night against the Islanders. We'll obviously talk about that more tomorrow, but you're right. There's been a little bit of a home road split for them starting to develop as well. Yeah, that'll be a great card for the Betcast tomorrow night for sure. Very much looking forward to that. All right, we got Bargain Bin Special of the night and Best Bets coming up in a moment, right after we hear from our great Ice Guy sponsors.
Support for the Ice Guys podcast is provided by Boston Hemp Incorporated, Manscaped, Power Play Sportsman, Raise Your Game, Tailgaters Social, and a big thank you to all that subscribe to the Ice Guys Patreon page.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the global leader in men's lifestyle and grooming. Every man knows the unbeatable feeling of a fresh barber shop shave. What if I told you that you no longer have to wait weeks or months between appointments to experience it? Introducing Manscaped's newest innovation, the Chairman Pro electric foil shaver, the game-changing tool that brings the luxury of a professional shave right into your home. Whether you're after that daily silky smooth finish or prefer to maintain a rugged 5 o'clock shadow, the Chairman Pro electric foil shaver is your go-to for precision and style every time. Head over to manscaped.com and join the over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using promo code ICEGUYS for 20% off and free shipping. What makes this Chairman Pro stand out? Versatility, precision. It comes with 2 interchangeable blade heads. You have the skin-safe foil, 4-blade foil for that close, smooth shave when you're looking to go completely clean. And if a clean shave isn't your style, that's okay. Switch to the skin-safe stubble trimmer to keep your stubble looking sharp and polished. Both heads are designed with skin-safe technology to help reduce razor burn and irritation. The last thing you need is to get nicks and cuts and all that shit to really irritate your skin. This will leave your skin feeling smooth and comfortable after every shave, reducing redness or discomfort. And a standout feature that truly differentiates the Chairman Pro is the Flex Adjust technology to give you that superior shave by allowing both blades and the pivoting head to seamlessly adapt to the unique contours of your face, and is gentle on the neck area to help you maintain great contact with your skin at every angle. If you want even more precision, there's a precision lock. When you lock it, the blade head sits firm so you can achieve a more precise shave. The Chairman is Pro is waterproof as well. You can use it in the shower. And the waterproof feature doesn't just make shaving easier, it also simplifies cleanup too. Just a quick rinse under the sink and you're all set. The Chairman Pro isn't just for daily shaves either. It's powerful enough to tackle up to 5-day growth, making it perfect whether you're shaving every day or just tidying up after a few days. And up to 75 minutes of runtime on a single charge, you can take your time getting the perfect shave. It even has a travel lock to help make sure it doesn't accidentally turn on when you've got it in your bag when you're on the go. Get the Chairman Pro today. It is worth it, and experience a shave that is as smooth as you deserve. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code ICEGUYS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the promo code ICEGUYS at manscaped.com. I love Solid Fire Mondays. I really do. Boston Hemp Inc. Make sure you check them out. 20% off all orders on the site using the promo code ICEGUYS at bostonhempinc.com. And Manscaped Mondays, that is a great product, Chairman Pro. So make sure you check that out, manscaped.com. All right, bargain bin special of the night. 3 games to choose from. So not a big slate, but sometimes these are the better slates, believe it or not, the smaller ones for the bargain bin special. Alex, what do you like tonight for that?
We'll head on out to Manhattan. Got the Blackhawks taking on the Rangers. Good original 6 matchup, and talked about how Anders Sorensen getting the defenseman in the rush, but also making some important changes, especially at the power play. And one of the most notable things is Tyler Bertuzzi being right where he should be, right in front of the goalie. I think he's going to get a tip in goal tonight. I'm looking at him plus 400 at BetMGM. I see a plus 380 at FanDuel. I think Tyler Bertuzzi, anytime goal, plus 400 is the highest price at BetMGM. We're going to go with that tonight as our Monday bargain bin special.
All right, there we go to the Blackhawks and the Rangers. Alex B. Smith will go in that direction with the bargain bin special of the night. My bargain bin special of the night, like I said, it's only 3 games. It's not a lot that I like, but I'm going to look. The Anaheim penalty kill has not been great as it is. The Montreal power play is a new level of lethal once they've brought Patrick Laine back. I've cashed with this once in the 3 games already since he's been back. And we're going to go to it again. Lane Hudson power play point plus 375, the best price out there with that at Bet365. Again, that's Lane Hudson to get a power play point tonight against Anaheim plus 375, the best price out there with that. I like it quite a bit. And not to mention the Montreal power play is you already see what it's doing since Laine got back. Anaheim's not a great penalty killing team, and Anaheim is a team that has the propensity to take some penalties as well. So it really does add up. Lane Hudson power play point plus 375 for my bargain bin special of the night. All right, best bets, Alex. What do you like?
Yeah, we go with the Montreal Canadiens to win in regulation. I got plus $1.05 at Bet Online. But shop around, trying to find that within the pick 'em or even money range. I said Anaheim is not that good of a team, and the Habs, especially with Patrick Laine now getting back in the line, this team just playing with some energy, playing with some invigorating and inspiring hockey right now. So plus 105. Go with the Habs to win within 60 minutes. My Monday best bet.
There you go. Montreal in regulation against Anaheim for Alex B. Smith with his bargain bin special of the night. All right, or not bargain bin, best bet of the night on this Monday slate. All right, my best bet. We're gonna go to MSG, Blackhawks and Rangers. Take your pick. It's either going to be first period over or full game over. I like them both. Can only use one for best bet. I'll go full game over this time with this game. Chicago, New York Rangers over 6. You can get that at around minus 104, minus 105 is the best price out there with that. Like I said, Sorensen is clearly allowing defensemen to jump into the rush, become more active in the offense, a little bit more of a bigger, better pace for the Blackhawks. And look, the Rangers scoring goals, but still having a ton of issues giving up goals. Like I said, they have allowed 3 goals or more in 9 of their last 10 games. I think the Blackhawks can get on the board. I think the Rangers can score, though, too. You still see defending as a work in progress under Sorensen, and I think the Rangers can score as well. So Blackhawks, Rangers over 6. I like first period over 2, but we'll go with a full game over for my best bet. Blackhawks, Rangers for this Monday card. All right, shout out to everyone in the chat. We got a huge Tuesday coming up tomorrow. Daily show back at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And, of course, the Ice Guys Live Betcast at 7 p.m. Eastern. Matt Robb will be in the house, Matt Robinson as well tomorrow, as always. So looking forward to that. A big Tuesday on tap. A reminder, the Ice Guys is live 7 days a week, Tuesday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday and Monday, noon Eastern. If you can't watch the show live, download the Ice Guys podcast in audio form on all major podcast platforms, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and more. Download the Ice Guys podcast when you can't watch the show live. For Alex B. Smith, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday. Enjoy the games and good luck. And back with you with a double dose of the Ice Guys daily show and live betcast coming up on Tuesday right here on the Ice Guys.